Hi, my name is Lona Muthania Uchido, and I'm making it one of my life's mission to demystify the speech therapy field and to empower more parents on what they can start to do in order to optimize their child's communication outcomes. So whether you want your child to talk more or talk better, learn better, and overall optimize their potential. So stay tuned and feel free to send in any topics on speech and language development you'd like for me to tackle. And in continuing with the series, that if you have been watching some of the videos that I've put out this month, I have been tackling how to grow your child's language, how to increase their vocabulary, and how to, bring about, complex language for them to develop complex language and use complex language. So today I would like to talk about what other things you can do, to help grow your child's vocabulary and to help them, have more complex language. And this is a really fun one, so it's holidays and there's probably going to be, lots of opportunities for this to be practiced. So today I would like us to talk about family relationships. It is such an interesting topic for children, and one that I find a lot of children don't seem to know a lot about. So when I have 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, and I would ask them, who's that? No, that's granddad. And how do you know granddad? Like, how is granddad related to you? And so, even 6-year-olds who have delayed language might not have a precise answer, and you can just see, they think, he's granddad, she's Nana. And I'm like, how are you related to Nana? So if you, this can be a nice, useful exercise for you to conduct with your child who is either has delayed language skills, or you are trying, actively grow their language, or you're just curious, do they know how the relationships, the family relationships that we are in, what they are. So one really good one is, for obviously the nuclear family, and just one removed. So one removed being, who is your siblings, your parents and your siblings. Does your child know how the relationships work? How you are related, how you first of all are related to your own mother, how you are related to your own father, how you, and then how they are related to them. So why is Nana? Who is Nana? Nana is grandmother. And how are you related to grandmother? And if you're lucky, you have two sets of, and so you have to teach the maternal side and the paternal side, and also so the different names, so how am I related to my mother? So she's my mother. And how is my mother related to me? So she's my mother. And how am I related to my mother? I am her daughter. So that's a nice vocabulary to start with, mother, and then now daughter, son. Check for understanding. Does your child can your child tell the difference? And then how are they related to their little playmates who are cousins? How is Jamie your cousin? Do they understand? Do they have the vocabulary to explain that family relationship? And if they don't, that's your starting point, obviously, to teach it and say, well, Jamie is, auntie, and they might say that's auntie so-and-so's son. So that's that word again, son and daughter. And why is that auntie so-and-so? So then you have to explain, it's your auntie because they're related to me, because they are my sister. And go as complex or, as shallow as you want to, based on where your child's language skills are at. And you'll be one vocabulary that I find baffles a lot of children is how you as mom are related to dad. Ooh. Or related to your significant other, your partner. And the children that I've asked, how is mom related to dad? And you can just see I'm not quite sure what's that word, and they might say, I had a really sweet child who said that the mother was the dad's mother. So if I ask my child, how am I related to my husband? And they say, well, you are his mother. So, well, not very flattering, but so you will uncover a lot in this exercise, and then that should be able to guide you on what to teach. Really, there are no limits to what you can teach. So go wide, go narrow, just respond to your child and look at how many more. For the older child, obviously, that probably isn't delayed in talking, you might want to consider, expounding on half relationships, step relationships. You might want to consider, and you might have a very interesting, family that already, like in the nuclear setup, there are all those complex, family relationships, and you'd have obviously to tackle them. But for the older kids, you might want to go into, who's a niece and who's a nephew. I know in our African culture, we don't seem to go beyond, calling somebody an auntie or grandma. So even somebody that's supposed to be actually not an auntie or not a grandma, we still call them grandma because of their respect, which I think is really, really nice. But how, put this to you, what would you call your grandmother's sister? So your grandmother's sister, you probably would be more inclined, if you're African like me, to want to call them grandma as well. But they're actually, I believe, great auntie, which sounds like, oh, how are they great auntie? But yeah, so I think the topic of family relationships, and obviously, as I shoot this video, we are in December and we are approaching Christmas, is going to be an interesting one to tackle, as it is probably, you're probably going to be entertaining lots of family, and so that your child is clear on these family relationships that you probably assume that they know, but really, how would they know if you haven't actually specifically taught, those words, grandma and grandpa and grandpa, and the paternal and maternal. And as I said, go narrow, go wide, whichever works. And I do trust that you find this to be an interesting experience with your little one, and I wish you all the best as you continually strive to grow your child's language skills, because it is by them first understanding that they're going to say more. So if you want them to one day say the word daughter, you first of all need to explain it so they understand it, and then you can continually ask. You can even get them to show off and say, oh, this is auntie so and so, do you know how auntie so and so is related to me? And then your son or your daughter is going to say, oh yeah, that's your sister or that's your brother. It's so bizarre for the little kids, like, oh, you have a mother, oh, you have a sister, oh, you have a brother. It's just so cute. So have fun with it all, and let me know how it goes. Just tell me what interesting things you have discovered from this exercise. What does your child think you are? How does your child think you're related to their dad or their mom? Let me know down below, and let's just share in all the giggles. All right, all the best. If you have any questions whatsoever, just shoot, and I will be more than happy to tackle if it's within what I'm tackling. I'm tackling pretty much everything. All right, catch you in the next video. Subscribe if you want to be notified. I'm clearly on a roll now, so I will be shooting a video and releasing a video every Mondays and Thursdays. Now that I've said it, I have to make sure that happens. All right, all the best. Catch you later.